I am Jennifer Balcom, and I am the director of the DeWitt District Library. I have been working in libraries for 31 years. I got my first job in a library when I was 18. I went to college. I came from a family with not very much money, so I had to get a work study job and got hired at the library. I worked at the library all 4 years, really enjoyed it, graduated, moved back home, couldn't find a job anywhere except for in a public library. I had a degree in English and minor in creative writing. So I worked at the library, and it didn't take me very long to realize that if I really wanted to be involved in the cool things that were happening in libraries, I needed to get my library degree. So I went to Wayne State, got my master's degree in library science, and have been working in libraries ever since. Mostly in public libraries, although I had a little stint in a school library and a little stint at the Detroit Institute of Arts Museum Library when I was in library school. I've actually managed libraries in New Mexico, Georgia, Ohio, and now Michigan. As the director of the library, I am responsible for staffing, building, budget, collections, just the overall direction of programs and services. I perform these functions under the direction of our 7-member library board. Before I talk about why I like working at DeWitt so much, I want to talk about why I like libraries in general. When um, when I was really young, I've been a library user my whole life. My mom would take me to story times, and I remember we lived in Cleveland when I was young, and I remember my dad taking me to Friends of the Library sales so I could get books. I've always been a big reader, and my mom would limit me when we would go to the library to 30 books, and I thought that she was really mean, that that wasn't enough. When I was younger, at least in elementary school, my dad was an executive, and we moved a lot. And one of the things that made those moves easier was always knowing that there would be a library at the next community. I love working in libraries because I really love working with people, and I believe that a library's responsibility is to connect to the community that it serves. They're the great equalizer. There are haves and have-nots in our community. Not everyone can afford to have technology or books at home, but the library can provide that opportunity to anyone, regardless of their cultural heritage or their gender orientation or their socioeconomic status. I love working in libraries because libraries aren't just about books. They're about being a community resource and about building collaboration and about doing collaboration and about partnerships. I think that a good library is more than just a book warehouse. I think a good library will have something for everyone. One of the things that I'm asked sometimes about materials is, how we make decisions about what the library has, and I think a good library is going to have something to offend everyone. We're going to have books and resources on both sides of an issue. It's a place, just like the DeWitt District Library's mission of learn, connect, explore, where people can come learn, they can connect with others, they can connect with information, and they can explore different opportunities. I love libraries because there's so much consumerism in our society. Our society is just saturated with it. And I love it that at the library I don't have to sell anything. I just have to make sure that, or the staff has to make sure that we are relevant, that we're paying attention to the needs of our community, and that we're doing the best that we can to provide the kind of resources that our community wants and needs. If you see me out in the main area of the library, please talk to me about Abraham Lincoln or personal development podcasts or 3D printing or robotics. I have a son who's on the robotics team. Or talk to me about libraries. I would love to hear from you about what you like about the DeWitt Library, about ways that you think that we can improve, about the direction of library services. In fact, even if I'm not out in the main area of the library, as you come in the front door on the left-hand side, there is a suggestion box. It says patron suggestions. Fill out one of those forms and pop those in there. All of those patron suggestions come to me directly, but they also go before the library board every month. So we would love to hear more about what we can do to serve the community better.